Welcome guys to HotDawgs Live, and we're here to take you through what you need to know for Game Week 8. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our social media pages, turn on notifications to our posts, and don't forget to leave a comment and share with us your teams going to Game Week 8. Going to Game Week 8, let's take you through the fixtures for Game Week 8, where we have a couple of big fixtures. Luton plays Tottenham Hotspur at home on Saturday. Burnley plays Chelsea. Everton plays Bournemouth. Fulham hosts Sheffield United. And then Manchester United plays Brentford United at Old Trafford. Crystal Palace takes on Nottingham Forest. And on a Sunday, we have Brighton and Hove taking on Liverpool FC. West Ham plays Newcastle. Wolverhampton Wanderers plays Aston Villa, and then the big match for the week, Arsenal plays Manchester City. Ambassador Omar, tell it. How are you feeling going into Game Week 8? I mean, your team plays City, so how are you feeling?
Okay, speaking as an Arsenal fan, City is the favorite, but I always go for Arsenal. You know why? City has been conceding in the past weeks, and Haaland is also not scoring. I mean, City without De Bruyne, City without Rodrigo, and the latest news I'm hearing is Bernardo Silva is also injured.
Oh wow!
So City is always the favorite, but I'll always go for Arsenal.
Okay, well, with most managers having players from the camp of Manchester City, I mean, Haaland, you mentioned, is owned by 91.6% of total managers of players of Fantasy Premier League. Julian Alvarez is owned by 32%, Saka by 57.9%, Odegaard by 22.4%, and Saliba by 26.6%. I mean, Manchester City goes into the fixture after a loss against Wolves and plays Brighton and Hove and Manchester United afterwards. I mean, after playing Arsenal, and Arsenal are going as one of the two unbeaten teams in the league. Let me get my opinion from Snow first.
Okay.
Would you consider keeping? I mean, with everything we've gone through right now, with the ownership of Arsenal and City players, and with the tough matches coming up for both teams, would you, if you have any Arsenal player or City player, would you be keeping it or would you be selling?
Okay, so personally, I have Haaland in my team, but I'm going to trade Haaland out and then bring Alvarez in, because I don't see why I should be keeping a 14.1 million striker who will give me just 4 points as a captain. I mean,
exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Welcome to the nation, brother.
Yeah, you know, Omar Stanley has been, keeping his foot down concerning the fact that he doesn't want to have Haaland in his team. From the beginning, we all thought he's just trying to be proud or something of that sort. But it's paying off, because he had Watkins, and then look at the points that Watkins gave him. So I don't see why you should have both Alvarez or Haaland in your team. Just one is okay. And even without one, I won't ask you to go for Haaland. Alvarez is okay.
You know, on a good day, Haaland will score, Alvarez will also score. And on a bad day, Haaland will not score, but Alvarez will score. So, that is my option buy. I always tell managers, if you waste all your money on Haaland, you end up buying some average players. So just sell Haaland. Buy an option buy, which is Alvarez. You are good to go.
And if we will recall, last week I predicted an upset coming.
Yes,
I mentioned 3 teams.
You can be a prophet.
Liverpool, Arsenal, or Manchester City.
Yeah.
One of them was going to cause an upset, and it happened with City. Now Rodri is still not back in the
Liverpool
team.
also
had a defeat. Rodri is still not back in the team, right?
Yeah.
And Calvin Phillips doesn't look like he can fit in those shoes yet. So, I mean, there are some City players you just have to let them go. Haaland, for instance, I don't see him pulling any miracle against Arsenal. So Alvarez should be an option for you in terms of City. And when it comes to Arsenal, I learned Saka is limping, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. That's what Arteta said. And anytime Saka is not around, the job comes down to the midfielders. That's where Odegaard comes in. So if you want to keep a player from Arsenal, maybe Saliba, cool. And then you can add Odegaard to it. So with these two teams, I'll just go for 3 players. One from City, 2 from Arsenal because I don't see City defeating Arsenal. Arsenal will get a win. I mean, they are where should be a draw.
Are you looking at a 0 and meaning a nil?
No. There's never going to be a nil game.
So it means if you're looking at defensive options, you don't need any City and Arsenal defender in your team, because if they're going to concede, it means they'll be slacking on that.
But what if the team going to concede will be Manchester City?
Well, then it means you need to sell.
Going to give you points, right?
Yeah, it means you need to sell Walker. You need to sell
exactly. I'm going for just one player from Manchester City, and that's Julian Alvarez.
Okay, and then looking at Arsenal.
From Arsenal with Odegaard, and then you can have Saliba at the back. That's cool.
Okay.
I mean, we also won Espinande last week, right? I mean, at the point,
he ended up giving -2.
You know,
that's incredible. Yeah. So, Omar Sterling, tell me, how does your team look like? Do you still have Arsenal players and City players in your team?
Yes.
Are you selling?
I'm going to maintain my Arsenal players. I have Saliba. I think I will keep Saka on the bench because we are having a new Saka is injured. Looking at the statistics here, it's 75% chance, but I don't think he will make it. Even if he makes it, he will end up not scoring. So I'll keep him on the bench because there's a game coming, which is Chelsea. Believe me, Saka is going to score Chelsea. Now, I will maintain Saliba because Haaland is not scoring. If Haaland scores, it will affect me. So speaking as an Arsenal fan and as an FPL manager for HotDawgs, I will praise Haaland never scores.
But Omar Sterling, when it comes to Fantasy Premier League, I'm not sure praise.
I'm
sure ARSvsMCI has been praising. It's still not working for you. Anyway, it's a good choice, though. Because I'm keeping Saliba anyway. So.
Yes, I'm also keeping Saliba. The only player who can score for City at the moment is Alvarez. Trust me. Talking of Haaland, against Wolves, you know, last season, Haaland scored a hat-trick against Wolves. 1 penalty, he had an assist from Mahrez, and 1 assist from De Bruyne. Here's the case, there's no Mahrez.
There's no De Bruyne.
There's no De Bruyne. And we are hearing that Bernardo Silva is also not playing.
Yeah.
So come on. Haaland is not that type he has that explosive speed, we understand. But he's not that type who can dummy, solo, and then shoot on his own. He needs an assist for that tap in. So as speaking as an Arsenal fan, I'll maintain Saliba, but with Saka, I'll just keep him on the bench. I'm not going to sell.
So we're keeping Saliba. Personally, I don't have any Arsenal fan. I don't like Arsenal players, and I have Haaland and Alvarez as my attacking duo. But who cares? Like, I mean, most importantly, who would have thought? Well, frankly, me though, after they beat Brighton last game week, which was supposed to be a tough test for Unai Emery and his boys, they faced the team that won against last season treble winners, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then they play West Ham and Luton Town at home, and then away to Nottingham Forest. Watkin currently at 8 million. Diaby, who has a knock and has 75% chance of playing, is at 6.7 million. Douglas Luiz is at 5.4 million, and then Matikash is at 4.9 million. Budget buys. With Watkins having a hat-trick, his second hat-trick of the season, if I'm corrected. Yes. And Diaby currently on form, Matikash, Douglas Luiz currently on form. Should we bring in, Aston Villa players into our teams now?
Okay, so, if you've been following Aston Villa, not just this season, Watkins is a very good player. When Coutinho even came into the team, he was giving the guy the assist and he was banging the goals. Even when the team is down, sometimes he finds a way to, pull his strings up and then get a goal or get an assist for the team. All these guys need is to get our communication going for them to gel, and they are going to perform. Yes, we don't see them to be like one of the big 6 teams or whatever it is, but these guys are on form. And with the performance that Watkins put up over the weekend, why would you leave him out? And he did that against one of the teams who is currently performing in the Premier League as well. So imagine pairing Julian Alvarez and Oliver Watkins in your team. That's a super combo.
Exactly.
Super combo. And he's not too. I mean, Haaland is 14.1.
Yeah,
That's just
8.0 million.
That means you have like extra, you know.
And Sami made a point that he actually has more total points. He has one more total point than Haaland, 14.1 million Haaland.
Yes, Watkins is selected by 24.3% managers. So out of 100%, you see a few of managers, the whole world are owning 24.3% managers owns Watkins. So it tells he's underrated.
Yeah.
But in the past games, he had an assist against Crystal Palace. He scored Chelsea and had the man of the match. And he scored a hat-trick against Brighton. And his next game is against Wolves. Wolves who is conceding. So, I mean...
So exactly, why would you not have such a player in your team? Especially if you even consider the price tag on him. Like it's just 8, right?
Yeah, 8 million.
That's okay. I mean, why not? If he's going to get you a goal or an assist or both, then it's worth it.
Or why not? So why not bring in Chelsea players then? So let me take it from here. Actually, Chelsea, right? No, we all thought, Chelsea is done for the season. And then they come in and beat Fulham. Fulham was doing great last season. They came into this season, they've been quite shaky and all those stuff. But they won against Fulham. Chelsea won against Fulham and kept a clean sheet. Meaning they have 3 clean sheets this season. I mean, from 7 games. That's the highest any team I've had. I mean, only few teams, City, Crystal Palace, Fulham, and then Newcastle have 3 clean sheets this season. So whilst you're looking at attacking returns, let's focus a little bit at the defensive returns and see what's going on. I mean, if you're going to bank on any team conceding less goals, it should be Chelsea. They've done it timelessly. They've since the time of Peter Cech and even Kepa and then Mendy, they were conceding few goals. And Chelsea is still Chelsea. They have one of the few, even though they are currently 10th or 11th place. They have one of the they have the least one of the. I mean, they should be bottom 5 of the teams to concede least goals. And funny enough, they have cheaper prices for their assets. I mean, Sanchez is at 4.6 million. Cole is at 4.5. Cucurella is at 4.8, and then Decisive is at 5.1. And not forgetting Thiago Silva is at 5 million. They play Burnley away and have a series of difficult games. I mean, they play us now in game week 9, and then Charlie, the list goes on. They have some terrible matches coming up. But if you can trust any team to keep a clean sheet against big sides, big opponents, it should be Chelsea. So should we be looking at bringing in players from Chelsea to book? And we're looking at most managers are going for a three back. So I mean, if you have 2 budget buys from Chelsea, I mean, you get Cucurella and then Kobo, who should cost between less than 10 million for 2 defenders, giving clean sheets. That should be a good buy. So should we be looking at bringing in Chelsea defenders right now?
It's actually good to realize that there are actually people out there who still believe in Chelsea. It's good to hear, you know.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, it's a long time. I met someone who has actually sugar-coated a team to make it look good.
Oh no, Chelsea has been good defensively.
So now let me go to my opinion right here. When you look at Chelsea, okay, the problem here is not the players. The problem here is the philosophy that the manager is trying to impose into the players. They've still not gotten that. They are still not there. We are experimenting, right? So today this one is here. Tomorrow let's try it here. Okay, we did this yesterday. Let's do this.
And they have a few problems with injuries.
Exactly.
And I mean, Chilwell is out. James is out.
And this is FPL we are talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody is waiting for you. Nobody is coming to tell you that, oh, you chose Chelsea players and because, you know, they are still trying their team. This 10 bonus points. No. I get you into my team, I expect you to perform.
Yeah.
You don't do that, the next week you are likely to leave.
Yeah.
Look at the subsequent matches that Chelsea are going to be playing. I mean, take Burnley out. Burnley is not even going to be an easy one for them. We don't want 1 week performance. We want consistency.
They've actually won 2 games.
Just 2 games this season.
Yeah. No,
Just,
I mean, in all competitions, they won against Brighton in the EFL, and then they won against both keeping clean sheets, by the way.
Okay. So the problem is, don't win 2 games and go and sleep.
Okay.
I need you to perform, and we need a consistency. And right now, I don't know. Personally, Chelsea fans, it's okay. You know, your team is doing good, but I'm not going for your players.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I won't do that.
Vexon,
Yes, I actually don't have any Chelsea player.
would you advise managers to get in? No, they look like, I mean, they look nice on paper. I mean, they play Burnley, and then they are cheap, like budget options. If you still want to have a good midfield, I mean, most managers are going for budget buys nowadays, especially for their defense. So, would you advise?
Okay, so speaking as I'm speaking for all Chelsea fans, they will definitely keep their Sterling, they will definitely keep their Thiago Silva and Augusto and their Chilwell and co. But speaking as a rational FPL manager for HotDawgs, I don't think keeping a Chelsea player is advisable. If it's for their defenders, I understand. They've conceded only 2 goals in their last 5 games. Impressive.
No, I mean, Chelsea has a very good. It has, like, since the time, it's been since time Omara. Like, I mean, Chelsea has been good defensively, and I know of this, and I can test because I've been following them, their defensive stats for a while now.
Yeah. So with their defense, if you still have any of their defenders, that's regular defenders.
I mean, Chilwell is out, and then Cucurella is replaced by Chilwell, and then Gusto was out for last game because of the red card he had, but he'll be back. But they have Kowo, they have Disasi,
yes,
who are constant, and then Sanchez as their main keeper. I mean, he had 3 bonus points in the last game, taking him to over 9 points against Fulham. That's impressive. I mean, for his price, he's getting a lot of points for his price.
Yeah, so talking about their attack, I don't think it's advisable because their attackers are inconsistent. Talk about just Jackson.
Jackson will be back after his red card, after his suspension. But I mean,
let's talk about Broja. Broja is 1 day shine. I mean, the next match he will go blank. Talking about Mudryk, I think this is his first goal.
Yeah, first goal since he came to Chelsea, apparently. I mean, he scored a goal during the preseason, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, so I don't think keeping a Chelsea attacker is advisable.
But we're talking about their defensive options.
Fine, with their defensive options, Burnley is not scoring, and Burnley's attack is not that deadly that can disturb Chelsea's defense. So I mean, Chelsea against Burnley, if I have any Chelsea defender, I'll keep. But with the attack, not advisable.
Well, not advisable. So who are we advising to captain? I mean, manager's favorite, Captain Haaland. Captain Haaland, who I promised I was going to keep throughout the season. I mean, from game 1 to game 38. I'm having doubts about that at the moment because he faces a tough test against us now. But I'm not sure managers will be willing to take that risk, considering the absence of their talisman, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is not around for the long balls and the loops and all those stuff. But before Haaland came, there was a go-to captain in Mohamed Salah. But unfortunately, he's also playing against Brighton, who will be hoping to bounce back after their 6-1 loss against Brighton FC. I mean, informed Tottenham Hotspur though plays Luton Town, right? That means most managers will be looking to pick between Maddison and then Son. Maddison is currently owned by 32.5% of the managers, and Son is being owned by 25.8%. But has been transferred in by over 558,000 managers for game week 8. So I mean, you wouldn't transfer in a player as luxurious as an informed player like Son, who will be playing against Luton Town and wouldn't captain. personally, Omar Sterling, who would you be captaining?
I'll always go for my Salah. Salah has always been one of my favorite attackers. Talking about difficult game weeks coming up, I don't think Brighton has that special defenders that can stop Salah from scoring. Especially conceding 6 in their previous game. I mean, the morale will be down, but we all know what Brighton can do. They will concede, but they will come against you. So I'll definitely keep my Salah, and I'll captain my Salah as well.
Apart from Salah, what else would you be looking at?
Okay, apart from Salah, I'm thinking of in my team.
Yeah, in your team.
Apart from Salah, I'm thinking of Captain Watkins, because man, my guy is on form. Away from the 6 goals.
I mean, the hat-trick he got against Brighton.
Away from the hat-trick, he scored against Chelsea. That was a big fixture, and he had an assist against Crystal Palace. So I mean, I'll keep Watkins, and if I don't have any option when it comes to the captain, I'll captain Watkins.
Okay, so Snow,
yeah,
tell us.
Okay, so last week I did mention about the fact that you should at least have either Maxson or Son in your team.
Yeah.
And if you have the luxury to keep just one, you should have Son, because he is going to be the final, tapping player to put the ball at the back of the net. And last week he had a goal.
Yeah, he had a goal.
Liverpool. Yeah, so Tottenham plays Luton Town this weekend, and I mean, they need to make a statement. People are talking about the fact that they didn't really put out the strength against Liverpool, especially playing against 9 men and then blah blah blah. So they really need to bring that statement in this game, and Tottenham is going to keep pushing because they are on fire, and they have games to actually get them the points. So they are going to do the justice, and that's it. So I'm going to have Son in my team, and then my vice is going to be Oliver Watkins. That guy, I mean, Wolves is conceding. Look at Wolves. And who is the deadly man in Aston Villa right now?
Yeah.
It's Watkins. So what's the point? You could even decide to captain Watkins and give the vice to Son. It works. It works. I see Watkins banging at least 2 goals, or a goal and an assist.
So what are your instincts telling you now? Who do you have in your starting 11?
Okay, I have Ederson in my post against Arsenal, but I'm thinking of transferring Steele. I have Steele on my bench against Liverpool. Steele is not getting that game chance. Steele is not playing, so I'm thinking of selling Steele and bringing in Sanchez. That's the Chelsea's goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Because he's playing against Burnley, and I think Burnley don't have that edge to score Chelsea. So I'm thinking of transferring Steele and bringing in Sanchez. And Sanchez is going to be my first keeper. And then I have Matikash. Matikash is playing against Wolves. Aston Villa against Wolves. Aston Villa will definitely concede, but Matikash's
attacking
ratings is very high. Now, let me move to my other defenders. I have Saliba against Man City. Man City is going to score against Arsenal, but I have another feeling Saliba is going to pull a surprise, at least scoring a header or having a goal. Talking about my defense, I'm going to keep Estupiñán. Keeping Estupiñán, I have Vardiol as my first substitute. So in case Estupiñán doesn't feature against Liverpool, because we all know he scored an own goal and
he was brought off at half time.
Yes. So maybe the manager for Brighton would think of
Deserbi would actually look at
exactly
bringing him back.
So I have Vardiol as my first substitute for defense. So in case Estupiñán doesn't play, and trust me, if Estupiñán gets that chance, he will prove himself against Liverpool.
But I mean, Lamptey did quite well against United.
Yeah.
I mean, when Estupiñán didn't play against after the international break, Lamptey was brought in. for Estupinan, and he did incredibly well. I mean, getting 2 assists. And since it's going to be a difficult fixture, and talked about low morals, if Estupinan is feeling that kind of way, then it means that he would have to be brought in for.
Yeah, so with my midfield, I'm maintaining Son, I'm maintaining Madison, I'm maintaining Mitoma, and I'm maintaining Salah. But I have Saka on my bench. The news is that Saka is not going to play. I stand to be corrected, but I feel even if Saka plays against City, he's been half fit for over a week. And then Arteta forced him to play against Lens yesterday. So I don't think Saka has that energy to play against a team like City and score or give an assist. So I'm keeping Saka on my bench. And with my attack, I have Morris against Tottenham. I'm hoping he will score. I have Oli Watkins against Aston Villa, my favorite striker. And I have Julian Alvarez, who is my option buy for Erling Haaland, 14.1 million.
Okay, looks like a good setup. I mean, what for me? That should be a 3-4-3.
Yeah, 3-4-3.
Okay, looks good. So, Snow, who do you have in your team for now?
Okay, so I think prior to this week, most of us were doing a 3-5-2 formation. It's like most of us are switching back to 3-4-3. I don't know why it's happening like that, but hey, you need to be tactical sometimes. So my 11, I have Areola in post. I'm still going to keep him. I'll keep Saliba for Arsenal, and I'll keep Thiago Silva for Chelsea. I think I don't see Burnley really threatening the defense of Chelsea. And then I'm going to keep Cash in there for the 3 defenders. Now when it comes to the midfield section, I'll keep Son, but Madison has to go. I will bring in James Ward-Prowse from West Ham. Yes, and then Luis Diaz from Liverpool. Yes, Luis Diaz from Liverpool will come in. And then I'm going to keep Mitoma from Brighton. This will be the 4 guys I'll keep in the midfield. And then up top, I have Julian Alvarez. I'll bring in Oli Watkins, and I'll keep Morris as well.
So that's a typical 3-4-3.
Yeah, 3-4-3.
Okay, so that's also a 3-4-3. So both of you be playing the 3-4-3 formation going to. Well, before I tell you about my team for Game Week 8, don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our social media pages. I mean, we've been having fun on TikTok and then on YouTube all weekend. Last week, it was all fun and games. And then don't forget to also turn on your notifications. Most guys were complaining that they didn't get a notification when we posted the video on YouTube and then on TikTok and on Twitter. But turn on your notifications and leave a comment, and also share with us your team's going to Game Week 8. So for my team's going to Game Week 8, I have Edison in post. And then I have Trippier and then Damben from Newcastle as my doubling on my Newcastle defense. And I also doubled on Tottenham Hotspur's defense. I'm actually someone who likes doubling on defense because a farmer, if it goes against you too,
if it goes against
you, more bleeding. So I'm always a fan of double. And it worked for me last season. I mean, I had 2 City defenders, and then they kept on giving me clean sheets, and they kept helping me last season. So this season, I'm looking at Tottenham Hotspur's defenders. I mean, Udogie and then Pedro Porro has been performing extraordinarily well. In the attacking returns. And then I have Anderson, who shocked me, he killed me last game, but I brought him in right now. He's currently my starting 11. I have Salah, Bowen, and Madison making up my midfield. And then I have Haaland and Alvarez as my top 2. But I go back on my words. I'm not captain Haaland this game week. I'm going for Madison. So I have Madison as my captain. I still have Haaland. I know he's going to get.
Why don't you want to sell Haaland?
I'm not selling Haaland. I'm keeping Haaland. Even if he goes I'm keeping Haaland. I can be. No, you know, when a lot of managers have a player and you don't, and the player performs well, it goes badly against you. You drop heavily. At least if he doesn't perform, you know everyone is not performing. I mean, 91% of the managers are not performing, so who cares? But if you don't have him and he does extraordinarily well, I mean, he gets 20 plus points in a game week, you end up like down the table. So, but you didn't mention who you're captaining. Who do you have as your captain?
I'm going to captain Salah.
Okay,
Salah
so
is playing against Brighton. He will definitely score or give an assist.
Okay, and then Snow, who do you have as your captain, by the way?
So it's going to be between Son or Watkins.
Okay, so Son, Watkins, Salah, Madison for the captaincy topics and then for the captaincy picks. So let's come back after game week 9 and see who came up on top. And before that, don't forget to subscribe and follow us. Goodbye and take care.